Hi, I'm Sarah Cowgill, along with Andrew Moran, Dave Patterson, Graham Noble, and John Clark. And this is The Conservative Five, an online TV production of Liberty Nation News. It's not easy being green. Just ask Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk. Once the absolute hero in climate change circles, he's become the sworn enemy of all the people who once salivated about his electronic vehicle line. Now he's the orange man's go-to guy, and all hell has broken loose for the man. Now, climate activists are at a crossroads that will redefine if they are serious about their beliefs or if they're just a bunch of stubborn, petulant, mouthy radicals that have taken way too many blue pills. Well, John Clark, what has happened to save the planet and buy Teslas?
Well, I think to properly understand the social justice cult is to understand that it is countercultural. It describes America as misogynistic, racist, the patriarchy, the 1619 Project, and we're destroying the planet through anthropogenic activity, which is ultimately self-hating. And as I've written a lot here at Liberty Nation, against that cult, all right, that climate cult, EV cars are not helping the planet. There's not enough lithium on the planet. The tire dust is destroying the oceans. So I hope they keep destroying EV cars in a way, because finally we could focus on something other than carbon dioxide. But what we see here is that they have to choose between the world that they say is ending in 10 years or destroying the world of Elon Musk. And this is the best cars. These are the best EV cars they have. And what, they're going to destroy them? How is that for the climate? So they're actually showing that either they don't believe that the climate is actually dying, all right, or that we're overheating through human causes, or that they hate Elon Musk more. And he used to be the darling of the left, right? And so what we really see is the self-immolation of an ideology, which is very Trotskyist in the sense that they're starting to eat their own. You know, they went after Twitter similarly. That was their foundation for free speech, and then they just destroyed it. So next thing you know, they'll turn on Bernie Sanders and realize he's a millionaire shill, right? Because this is the beginning of the end of a cult, because it never made sense. The whole thing was built on fear-mongering and falsehoods, and now they're showing us that it was built on fear-mongering and falsehoods, and they are completely devouring their own agenda and their own rationalization for why they needed total control of the government in the world to save us from climate change, because clearly they don't care.
Andrew, is Canada torching Teslas too?
Yes. You know, just in the last week or two alone, I'll give you some examples here. In British Columbia, 2 Tesla chargers were torched. In Ontario, a Tesla Cybertruck was vandalized and branded with a swastika. In Saskatchewan, a Cybertruck was vandalized. A Cybertruck owner in Manitoba said he's received death threats. Across the country, people are just protesting at local Tesla dealerships. People are just having a job. It's absolutely absurd. The Vancouver Auto Show has had to remove Tesla cars from the event because they were worried about safety concerns. It's become absolutely ridiculous. And this is part of the reasons why, it's because Elon Musk is at the White House, but also in Canada, it's because of the ridiculous trade dispute. This is why I cannot stand trade wars, because people get this patriotism, this feigned patriotism. They're fighting for one side. So I can't stand it. But anyway, Canada, they're excluding Teslas from their whole electric vehicle incentives. So all of this proves, to echo exactly what John has been saying, it's never about the climate at all. For all the leftists owning a Tesla or promoting Elon Musk and celebrating him in Iron Man or that other god-awful sitcom where everyone laughs at every single thing, it was politically correct to do so, and I'm virtue signaling. And look how great of a person I am, and I'm so wonderful because I drive a Tesla. Now it's just, you're worried that you have to, that you're gonna go to the coffee shop and come out and your car is vandalized. There was a photo of this guy from the United States, and he had a thing on it on his car that said, "Oh, please, I don't like Donald Trump. Please don't attack my car. We love it." And this is what Canadians have turned into. They've metastasized into miscreants who just, who aren't the kind people that they were everyone described for years and years and years. People don't wear the Canadian flag in their backpacks anymore. Because Canadians have become absolutely ridiculous individuals for my fellow countrymen.
You folk. Wow. And that one guy in South Carolina who tried to blow up a charging station and basically set himself on fire. So
Yes, I saw that.
a ton of brains on this protesting stuff. So Graham, how do the Greta Thunbergs of the world handle this level of emotional betrayal?
Well, I don't think the Greta Thunbergs or whatever, wherever her name is, I don't think people like that. I don't think people with that mentality actually have any. They don't have any emotional attachment to any of this stuff at all, and it's kind of a paradox. I've always thought that is an interesting facet of kind of left-wing progressive / socialist kind of thinking and their worldview, is that they always seem to act and think on emotion rather than on facts and logic. And yet these people are, and look, I am not absolutely anyone who actually is watching the show who happens to be someone who just votes Democrat, but is otherwise a normal human being. I'm not talking about you, okay? Anyone out there who is a true liberal in the classical sense of the word liberal, I'm fine with those people. Never had a problem with liberals. But the progressives and the socialists and all these hardcore people, I genuinely believe that they are somewhere on the sociopath spectrum. They have no emotions and they have no principles. And as John alluded to, this entire climate change thing was all about, okay, what can we come up with? How can we come up with a problem that is so enormous and all-encompassing that if we convince everyone it's real, we can literally take over everything, the healthcare systems, the economy, gun control, everything, all in the name of saving the planet. And so it was all a big scam. And so they don't have any kind of emotional attachment to any of this, and they never feel any sense of shame or any sense of, oh, aren't we being hypocrites that now we're destroying an EV company? No, they don't even think like that. It doesn't even go through their heads. So the answer to your question is, they don't need to handle it because it's not something that affects them.
If I may just interject one thing quickly, there's such a dichotomy between how conservatives protest and how leftists protest. Conservatives, they disliked Bud Light because of the values that they were espousing, and they protested by not buying the beer. But leftists are protesting Tesla by terrorizing the company and terrorizing its employees and terrorizing its customers.
Well,
most of its customers are the liberals. Most of the Tesla owners are the left. Yeah. Sorry.
If the vandalism and violence weren't taking a toll on dealership owners, their staff members, just regular people like us, I don't think Elon Musk is going to be living on the streets anytime soon, Dave. I mean, where's the thought process here?
I think there's a bigger issue here, Sarah, and whether Mr. Musk is feeling pain is not really that issue. What we're faced with here is domestic terrorism. It falls into the category of anti-government, authority behaviors, and it has nothing to do with the climate change fanatics. These acts of vandalism fit precisely the definition of terrorism. The use of threats and violence to achieve some political or ideological aim. And one can argue whether or not they're clever enough to have an ideological aim. But the fact that it's done domestically makes it domestic terrorism. And the climate change crazies, animal rights loonies, or environmental terrorists have a long history of this kind of criminal behavior. And these folks have apparently decided that Mr. Musk represents an authority figure that must be stopped. Well, what needs to happen is that such acts of domestic terrorism as setting fire to Teslas or firing bullets into Tesla dealerships are treated as terrorism. The FBI should form task force like they do with all the other problems that they encounter, and life sentences should be handed out. And if there is a death that results from this kind of behavior, then the death penalty at the federal level should be imposed on the perpetrator. That's how you stop this kind of foolishness.
Okay, strident instructions from Dave. You scared me, Dave. You've been scaring me a lot lately. Well, I don't know. Hate is a powerful motivator. It always has been. It made the climate world turn on itself and abandoned their core tenet. I mean, come on. I don't get it, but hey, thanks panel for all of the insight and thanks for watching, and we'll keep you in the loop. That's it for our Conservative 5 panel today. Check out our other C5 shows and segments on your favorite video platform, YouTube, Vimeo, Rumble. We're on them all. As well, Liberty Nation News has its own Roku channel, where you can see all of our TV productions. Now, Liberty Nation News does not endorse candidates, campaigns, or legislation, and this presentation is no endorsement. I'm your host, Sarah Cowgill. Thanks for joining us today for the latest news and commentary. Your choice for free thinking, free speech, libertynation.com.